to the 50-50 ritual. I'm Sifu Z,
I'm Sifu Chad.
and I'm here in where am I? I'm in California. I'm in Central California, in the mountains of California, and Chad's up there in the mountains of Gunnison in
The
Colorado.
Rockies.
Yeah, so you can officially call us mountain seafood. Mountain
Wow, yeah.
seafoods.
We are, aren't
It
we?
almost sounded like mountain seafood, which is a little strange. Mountain seafood.
Yeah. Mountain seafood. It's like where you get that? You get that in the river. You get some salmon, you
That's right.
trout,
So
get some trout.
this is a martial art and fitness stream. Half of this stream is open to the public. The other half is done over at patreon.com/SifuZ. That's spelled capital S, lowercase IFU, uppercase Z, all one word. And no, I'm not going to say Z. Z. That just doesn't make sense. You know? I mean, every
Isn't
time you
Z
say
zero?
yeah, okay, so I'll not go there. This this is a drinking show, so be sure to have some water. This is also a show where you got to bring lots of money, and if you don't have a lot of cash money, well, at least have some sand, some quality sand. Oh my goodness, the Uh, hopefully you haven't pounded your sandbag to the point of powder. If you do, you need to get new sand, right? But
Yeah,
that's
I
okay.
think so.
Now, one of the main things we like to do that we learn from Wing Chun training is we like to do hand training. Hand training is important. It's the first thing you're going to put up, right? If you're going to put it up like this, or you're going to put it out like this, or here, however you're going to do it, your hands are going to be the first thing out there. So, although you may not, in self defense purposes, strike with your fist, right? In self defense, normally we'll strike with the butt of our palms because it's a lot more safer in many ways, right? Especially if you keep your thumb tucked. The palms. However, and you can even curl your fingers and then do it this way. This way, your fingers don't get bent. So a lot of time, when you're doing the palm, you're actually doing like a tiger claw, kind of, yeah, sort of thing.
Hungar
Bam,
almost.
bam, right. So why are we doing sand training? Why should we all just be hitting it like this? And so no, the sand. This is so we condition our hands, our wrist, even the forearm and shoulder if you hang it, and you condition these things so if they get hit, you don't get damaged. Your hands or whatever don't get damaged. So it's good to have to build some density. Now, Sifu, Chad, and I are both musicians, so it's really important not to hit this and to damage your hand. All right, this show is, of course, train at your own risk. We assume no liability for what you do on your end. This is for entertainment purposes only. So let's how Seafood Chad's been doing the sand training here, doing the sandbag training. If I'm not going to talk too much about the sandbag training, because every session I talk about the sandbag training. So just go back and listen to any of our previous 50-50s, and you'll get all the information you'll ever need on the sandbag training. And it's always at the beginning of our training session. So you'll always get the information on that. So while we do our training here, again, don't hit it hard. I want to talk about something that happened. There was Itmon's birthday, 1893. Itmon's birthday.
1890. Lee.
October 1st, 1893. Ip Man. So, if you don't
Happy
know,
birthday.
yes, uh,
Happy birthday, man.
I would have done a stream yesterday just in honor, but I was just driving around and picking up pedals and stuff like that, chasing compression pedals that never show up. But I digress. Uh, yeah, but indeed, it was Grandmaster Ip Man's birthday, and he passed away in 1970, I believe. Um, Very interesting. Oh, first off, if you don't know who Grandmaster Ip Man is, Grandmaster Ip Man is who taught my Sifu, our Sifu, Grandmaster Chris Chan. And Chris Chan and Bruce Lee were good buddies. They both trained with Ip Man. Chris Chan more directly with Ip Man than Bruce Lee, but nonetheless, Bruce Lee, Chris Chan, Ip Man. That was the golden era. Was known as the golden era of training with Ip Man. Was during that time, and so was the golden era that I got to train with Chris Chan during the 90s, which was the golden era, in my opinion, for Chris Chan. Um, the golden era for training with Sifu Chad right now. No, I don't think so. You're not that old yet. I'm sorry.
I'm not that old yet.
No, I won't push you. I won't push you older than you already are. Uh, um, but imagine, man, 1893, born during the Boxer Rebellion, or he was alive during the Boxer Rebellion. So, and if you're
Yeah,
not familiar with the Boxer Rebellion, just look it up. I should probably do a video on the Boxer Rebellion. Maybe go do a little bit of homework, take some
that'd be a cool
notes.
video.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be a
yeah.
cool video.
So, yeah, but just imagine there. I mean, when you say martial arts anywhere in the world, they say Bruce Lee, and in classic fashion, that of course is not the epitome of martial art. You always, when Hollywood offers you something, always look to see who the OG is, you know? And in
Yeah.
this particular case, the OG is Ip Man. The OG is Chris Chan, right? Uh,
Oh yeah. I'm glad I got the experience to be able to just train one night with him, man. That was awesome.
well, just
Ah,
imagine if Grandmaster Ip Man had not been born, right? Or just
oh
imagine,
my goodness. Don't even
yeah,
tell me that.
and then even, I mean, even though Bruce Lee is not the epitome, really, of our system, imagine we probably wouldn't know Wing Chun, right? Because Bruce Lee is who at least popularized Wing Chun to the point where people that were smart enough go, okay, well, Bruce Lee, he's kind of a little guy, kind of flashy, kind of
Yeah.
oiled up for Hollywood, so to speak, greased up for Hollywood. So people in the know realize that there's the man behind. You see where I went there? There's the man behind the man. And that was Ip Man. And know what's really bizarre about the name Ip Man and just the whole flow of words here? The man behind the man is Ip Man or IP Man, as many people see it. It's go IP Man. That's so futuristic.
I I IP man.
It's the IP Man. Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I don't know. And Chris Chan and Chris Chan, that's just the play on words within our system is pretty freaky.
It is.
Uh, all right. So typically we do about 10 minutes of sand training. All right. Now we're going to, if you have a bench or uh, bench, a car, something of that nature, then you can use that, or you can just use the ground. We're going to do just some good old push-ups. Now, there's different ways we can do push-ups. I covered this last class, but just to reiterate, you can. We're going to do two sets. You can do one hand in one, for instance, one set in all one hand position, right? Far, close, right? High, low. Or you can do the second set and do a different hand position, or you can change hand positions for each rep. Am I making sense there?
Yes.
Okay.
Adjust push-ups to your personal needs. Um,
Yes. Now
is that a way?
the way that I approach all these exercises are as activation exercises. We're not trying to really push whatever the exercise is to its limit. So you actually want to go before you're starting to feel too much of a strain. You're trying to activate those muscles. So you're focused on the actual muscles that are doing the work. You're just trying to activate that. The reason I like to do these before we do our training is because a lot of times when you're doing your forms, you can let certain muscles kind of go docile, especially if you haven't been using them, right?
Right.
And so
Yeah.
then you're not, you think that you're doing your forms and you're really not. You're kind of letting stuff go to sleep. So, and now why wouldn't that be within the Wing Chun system traditionally? Can you answer that, Chad? Just a little quick quiz.
Why that wouldn't be in the Wing
Yeah,
Chun
why
system?
would no, what yeah, like, we only got
Hmm.
3 forms and whatnot, and, there's not a lot of, jumping or do a lot of there's not a lot of this or any of that there's kinda just kind of how come there's no exercises within the traditional system? Of course, Chris Chan and I have developed exercises, but that's not the
Right.
point. Why wouldn't there be, like, these traditional exercises? Could
Hmm.
you
Well,
assuming that there were not, and I think it's safe to assume there weren't.
okay. Okay. Even assuming the concept of density in the first form being sort of the exercise, How being the exercise of not just your full body forcing itself to
And,
activate, or
exercise and talk at the same time.
yeah, but also but also forcing because in order to get it all to exercise, like with push-ups, it's just like okay, it's pretty straightforward. Like you're doing a push-up and you feel it, right? But in Siumtao, you kind of bring that intensity to your whole body.
No, the question is, historically, why would there not be, traditionally speaking, exercises attached to the Wing Chun system?
Perhaps because they figured that the forms were exercise already, um,
Well,
or enough
but that
exercise.
doesn't answer the question because why am I doing this? Like this seems you can really question what I'm doing here and say, "Oh, come on, that's not Wing Chun." Right? You
Yeah.
could
Well,
really question that. You can argue with what I'm doing here.
yeah. These are
And
the
so
the Western
there's
the w-
there's logic. in my approach here. So anyway, I'll just give you the answer because the answer is a one. It's a one word answer.
Western exercise.
No, no,
Okay.
no, because that would just give you like
I'm trying.
what
I'm
I'm.
trying to think. I'm trying to think myself towards an answer. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to give you an answer.
I
I'm
got
trying
you.
to
I
think
got you.
myself towards an answer.
I
Yeah.
got you. History, history. One word answer. We weren't so, we weren't so docile historically. Our
Docile.
sitting around and watching TV is only a recent thing. Right?
That's
So
true.
you
Yeah.
you had to wring, you had to wash your clothes by hand. You had to walk up and down to go get the water and take it to your village. There's there was a lot of
Right.
work involved in life not so long ago. So exercise is really a new invention for the modern Western world, or the really the Western industrialized world, or let's just say the industrialized world, right? It's really an invention of the industrialized world where you've made things so easy that people don't need to, be very active anymore in order just to go live day to day. That's why being a nomad is wonderful, because you're kind of going back in time a little bit and and saying, no, I gotta walk down that hill to go take my
Yeah.
bath. I
No.
gotta
Yeah.
do
No.
this.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I see what
Yeah,
you're saying. Yeah. Because nowadays we have the luxury of technology to fill in a lot of, um, to automate a lot of things that we would otherwise used to do manually.
that's right. So now what I use Western tech, I have this Wing Chun approach to this Western or industrialized world is, don't use this, don't use it as the Westerners would, because we have Wing Chun to do that. You see? You don't need, if you're trying to develop your chest or trying to develop this, well, activate it, but then really do the work, right? Internally. I learned this well before I started doing Wing Chun. Do you remember? I told you the story. Do you remember who I learned it from?
Uh, I don't remember.
Well, first
No.
there was Jack LaLanne, but who I really listened to it was from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he did bodybuilding, would lift light weights just to activate the muscle group, but then he would just get in front of a mirror and pose. Well, that's exactly what we do.
Right. Yeah, yeah, exactly, right.
It's
Because
exact.
when he's posing, he's activating all of
It's
his
all
muscles in
internal. It's all
posing.
internal.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah, it's all
yeah.
isometric. That's the word I was looking for,
That's right.
isometric.
So,
Yeah.
so I learned this well before Wing Chun, but Wing Chun figured it out well before they did, right?
Yeah.
So these are people that are, almost the kings of Western exercise, yet how come they're better than everybody else? Right?
Mhm.
Mike Tyson. How come Mike Tyson was better than everybody else? Because there were actually elements of Wing Chun within what he was doing. So I talk too much. Would you count out a good slow 10 for me?
Alright, alright. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
And if 10
7,
is too much for you, don't do 10. Any of you out there
8,
following along? Again, only do it to the point of comfort.
9, and
Good. All right, now same if you got like a chair, a bumper of your car. I'm using my trailer hitch here, but let's do some tricep presses. We're pressing here. This really helps with the calm cell. When you do your calm cell, if you're not engaging your triceps, then your calm cell is going to be very weak. So when you do your tricep, you're not just pressing down imaginary here. You're really engaging the tricep when you do
Mm-hmm.
calm cell. Yeah. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the first set. Again, if this is difficult for you, only do the amount of reps that feel good. There's no need to strain here. We're just activating that muscle group. My guys, I say this to my guys because you can do these any way you want. That's the beauty of this stream and the 50-50 ritual. You do it however you want. Yeah. Or if you like, you can also follow the way I'll show it or the way Sifu Chad will show it. Sifu Chad, will you take us to the second set on this?
All right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Nice. All right, we haven't done this in a while. If your shoes are loose, you might want to tighten them up right now. I have done this and lost a shoe. All right, are you ready? Kicks. Three breaths. Third breath, pick it up all through the nose. Healing salt. Left side, inside, outside, center. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right side, inside, outside, center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right to the right. and release. So just to show you folks out there what we're doing, if you're not familiar, our kimmy ma, this is what's called a grasping the goat stance. Yeah, the sheep grasping or goat grasping stance, right? Your knees are as if you're grabbing. There you go. And from this stance, we then go to one leg, and the kicks are like so. They're first inside, the good old heel, the blade kick, outside. So it's an actual heel kick. So not the blade of the foot, but now it's a heel kick. And then the whole, again, a heel kick, but applying pressure with the whole front, the whole foot itself. Those work really nicely for spleen kicks or kicking to the front of the knee. Yeah. Uh, so again, that's inside, outside, and center. So that's what I'm referring to: inside, outside, center. You notice things that are important. It's like music. Whatever you do first, whatever you do a lot of, is what's important, is what indicative of the song, the genre. And so in Wing Chun, we do this first, this inside, right? That's because it's probably the most, um, the strongest. It deals with where we should be. In other words, the person brings a forward leg. We move where? To the side of that forward leg, and then being able to kick from here. It's this kick here is the same as a side kick, right?
Right.
So if we
Yep.
turn and here, and then it puts us right precisely in the position we need to apply that kick.
Break down that lower structure.
Yeah, yeah. So um, so that's why it's first, right? And then second, when you want to get into perhaps they've got more of this football player or wrestling stance, then you're not going to try to go around someone like that because they don't have a forward leg, right? So in which case you bring a forward leg in, right? But you've got your knee, you've got this inside kick, right? So because if I kicked an inside leg like this, now look, he's got my back. You see how
Right.
that works? So if I'm in that position where they're like this and I can't get around, then I'm going to want to pivot, of course. I'm not going to just stay here. I'm going to move my center. And now I'm not going to kick this way now. I want to kick this way to that inside. And I'm usually attacking upper body as well, maintaining the upper body stuff. So boom, boom. Inside, outside, and then center. Oh yeah, center. There's a whole bunch of wonderful targets here. And this could
Yep.
also be adjusted to a T where it's just the front foot, the like
Yep.
just the
The
ball of the
ball of your
foot.
foot, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So that's an
I was thinking
adjustable
that
one.
too. Yeah,
This
because you
one
can
isn't
go
adjustable.
higher mid.
This one
Mm,
isn't adjustable, but this one is
mhm,
adjustable. So
mhm.
that's just kind of really scratching the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the kicks. So man, a half hour goes by quick. Sometimes we
Sure
go
does.
longer, sometimes, but we got to keep this ball rolling. over on Patreon. So again, hey, thanks for training with us here, joining us during this stream. I hope we were as entertaining as you desired. This has been brought to you by SifuZ.com, the place to go to learn a sustainable method of fitness and a practical method of self defense. It's the only place on the planet that you can find this and you can train for free. And then if you really want to get serious, you can join us over at Patreon, pick a tier, and you can join us for the other half of this training session. All right, we'll see you again. We're almost on track here. I think we hit Monday. Here's Wednesday. We're going to shoot for Friday. You down?
Yes.
All right. So as long as the technology gods allow both of us, we'll see you same bat time, same bat channel, 8:30 Friday. See you guys over at Patreon.